to our school meeting for March 14th, 2019. We've got a lot of special things going on today. We have a presentation about our Loose Change fundraiser and supporting schools in Peru. And then we have a third grade service learning project that's going to be presented. We have our Pride Classroom Shares. We're going to get an update from fourth grade on a very special project they did. And we'll celebrate birthdays and do our Love for School song. But before we get to all that, I'm really struggling with something, and I think I need Mrs. Fury's help. Someone ask Mrs. Fury to come up right now.
Hi, Mr. Jones. Good morning, Mr. Jones. How are you today? Did you have a good morning? Hi, Mr. Jones. How are you?
Hi, Miss Fury. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
What was different about those three different situations? What was different between the first two and the last one? Alani. Yeah, so did I pretty much ignore Miss Fury the first two times? First time I completely looked away from her, completely ignored her. The second time I looked at her like, what are you doing? Why are you saying hi to me? How do you think that made Mrs. Fury feel? Jackson, what do you think? Yeah, it probably made her feel sad. Mrs. Fury, how did it make you feel?
It made me feel really uncomfortable and sad. I just wanted to say thanks.
And how did the third time make you feel?
It made me feel really good. You said hello back.
So, something I've been noticing recently, and some of your teachers have been noticing this as well, is some students will say hi to you, or teachers will say hi to you, and you're like, okay. So, when we think about kind of life skills and how we treat one another, okay, I know you're not trying to be mean or rude or anything like that, but if someone says hi to you, should you look away or just kind of give them this blank stare? No, what could you do differently? Harper.
Say hi to them.
Yeah, when we say hi to someone, do I say, hi, Mrs. Fury? No. What did I do in that last situation? I didn't look at the ceiling, I didn't look at the wall. What did I do, Neil?
You gave her eye contact.
Yeah. I looked in her eyes so she knew that I was talking to her. If I'm like, hi, Mrs. Fury, is she gonna know I'm talking to her? No. Okay. So this is something as a school. It sounds really simple. I totally get it. But I see this in the real world. I see this in the supermarket when people run into each other. They won't even look at each other or they'll ignore each other sometimes. So when someone says hi to you, say hi back. Look at them and say hi. Okay, it's the respectful thing to do. All right, so let's work on that as a school. Next up, we are going to talk about a Loose Change fundraiser, and I'm going to invite Antonia up right now to come and join us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me back to local school. I love coming here. My kids both were here and it's been a long time. So this is the 8th time I've been here. We started Loose Change in 2011. And in that time, we've built and equipped 24 schools. That's a lot of schools, right? So, and I say we because it's not me who's done it. It's actually all of you. It's all of you who brought in even the tiniest amount of coins. So what I first want to say and leave you with mainly is just a big thank you. Because everybody here who's even brought in, even if you just brought in 1 penny, I'll talk about 1 penny later, even if you just did that, it made a huge difference for kids a long way away who don't have access to education in the way that you do. So the main thing I want to say firstly is thank you. Now I'm back here because we're doing it again. Our goal this year is to build and equip 6 schools, just in 1 year. That's our biggest goal ever. We're going to need your help again. But first I want to show you exactly what we did with those coins that you brought in last year. So I have a new slideshow to show you. Okay, so here we are up in the top right corner there, in the green, the dark green. And where we're going is right down here where it's kind of pale, where it says Peru in the bottom left. So you all brought in your coins and we took all that money down to Peru and we bought educational supplies. Now the reason we didn't buy them here is because then we would have to ship them, which would be expensive. And also because books that you buy here are in English and in Peru they speak Spanish. So we buy all that stuff when we're there. And we take it here. And here. So it looks kind of different to Wayland, right? It does. And this is an example of one of the towns where we go. Again, it's quite different to Wayland. Oh, it's much smaller. But there you've got kids who are living on farms all around that place. They have to walk for a long time just to get to their school. And here, look, there we've arrived. And the kids are always really happy to see us. As you can see, there are always dances and parades when we arrive, because people are so grateful that all these supplies are coming. So that's the sort of thing that we bring. So can you imagine if you had a classroom and you didn't have any books in it at all? Can you imagine that? Or could you imagine if you didn't have any pencils, so you were actually using sticks and you were learning to write by drawing in mud? That'd be pretty different, right? So that's why they're so excited to see all of these supplies. There's more of them as well. And we keep going. So we did 4 schools last year. This is another school that we did last year. And another one. And that's the same one as before. So that's the difference that it makes. And it's all just from collecting coins like this. Now, so what I'm asking you to do again is to take that bag that you all got last week and to scour your homes everywhere and see if you can find coins. And I put some pictures up just to give you some ideas. Can you see where you might be able to look for them? What do you think? Where do you think you could look? Where do you think? Where do you think? Yeah, so I'm just going to wait a second. So can you see someone looking under a bed here? Where else can you look? Where can you look? You know where? Where else could you look? Yep, you can look in your dad's wallet. That would be great. But if you're going to do that, I would ask you to check with your dad first. Where else could you look? In your dog's ear, maybe. So you can look everywhere, and when you start looking, it's quite surprising where you can find coins. There are pockets, there are the laundry, they're everywhere. So I'm really asking you to scour your homes everywhere you are. And even the smallest coins will make a difference for us. I want to get back to, I talked earlier about that pencil. Now, if you found 1 penny on the ground and you brought it in, and you went to a store here, a bookstore or something, do you think you could buy anything for a penny? You couldn't, right? Well, in Peru you can. You can buy a pencil for a penny. Now remember I said that imagine if you didn't have a pencil. What kind of difference just 1 pencil would make? So you wouldn't be drawing in the mud with a stick, you'd actually be able to write. Now a lot of these kids, they have 1 pencil for the whole year. If they lose it, they're not getting another one until next year. Until we come next year with another pencil for them. So this might look like just a pencil for you, but where these kids are and for their learning, it's actually really important. So if you only just find a penny, we'd be very grateful to receive it because we can give the child one of these and it'll make a difference for them. So can I ask everybody here, would you all help us this year? Looking for some coins. We do accept bills too, but what we're asking for is coins. And we'd be very grateful. So thank you very much in advance. And I'm looking forward to reporting back on whether we got to do 6 schools this year. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And I would encourage you to, this is a great opportunity to think about other parts of the world, think about other people. And imagine if you only had 1 pencil for the year, what that would be like. If you lost the pencil on the first day of school. So, just something to think about and helping other people. On that theme of helping other people, I'd like to invite up our third graders who are going to share their third service learning project. Come on up. All right, let's keep up our good listening skills. These surveyors have worked really hard at preparing this for you.
Animal Rescue Service Learning Project by Dylan Holt, Harper Pierce, Rogan Nelson, Kenty Young, Maggie Wheeler, Jake Soslow, Abby Bergeron, Blake Williams, Max Starr, Tanner Fancor, and David Harold. World Wildlife Fund, what it does. Helps animals have homes. Prevents animal habitat destruction. Takes care of animals in need. Bake sale next Wednesday, March 20th from 2:75 p.m. to 3:75 p.m. We will be selling Rice Krispie treats, chocolate chip cookies, vanilla cupcakes, chocolate cupcake, lemon squares, sugar cookies, brownie, double chocolate cupcakes, lemon bread, and lemonade. $2 for each item, $5 for 3 items. Please help us save these animals. Thank you.
So that should be a very exciting project. Love how Ryan Fruitman's listening right now. And Caleb Hammond. All right, so that will be a really exciting project next Wednesday. They'll have tables up right outside the double doors over here by the computer lab, as well in the main lobby next Wednesday afternoon. And again, as they said, this organization, the World Wildlife Fund, they help create shelters for students. And I also want to say something. I know I just said it was all third graders. Maggie Wheeler's in second grade, so I just want to make sure it's clear. I know you're in second grade, Maggie, I promise. Okay? All right. Next up, we have Team Pride, so come on up.
As a teacher.
My name is Ryan from Miss Bear and Miss Lloyd Roberts' class, and I'll be playing the role of a student.
My name is Ken from Mr. Monahan's class, and I'll be playing the role of a student. I think my third grade students will really like this invention convention activity.
I love that sound.
Me too. I think we should have a competition for who can squeak their feet the loudest.
Let's do it.
You are in the middle of the hall and people are working. Why are you squeaking your feet?
Oh, Miss Bergeron, because it's fun and we wanted to do it.
Yeah, Miss Bergeron. Why can't you just relax and let us enjoy ourselves?
Don't be so strict.
Excuse me, there is no reason to be disrespectful. I have my class coming for music in 5 minutes. I need to concentrate on getting the science activity ready to go, and what you are doing is distracting me. Our squeaky feet are really that distracting? Yes, I heard that you were having a competition on who could be the loudest.
Miss Bergeron, come on. After all our hard work, are we allowed to have a little fun?
Brian and Ken, let me ask you something. What was your favorite part of third grade?
Definitely the invention convention.
I agree, the invention convention was awesome. So how would you like it if your third grade teachers had been distracted so much by the noise in the hallway that they could not plan the invention convention?
That would have been the worst.
I would have been so upset. Do you get my point now?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Miss Bergeron. I'm so sorry. I'm so done with squeaking my feet in the hallway.
I'm so sorry too. I did not think how the squeaking of my feet could affect other people. It's okay, Ryan and Ken. As a teacher, it is important that the hallways are quiet from not only voices, but also squeaking feet so that we can concentrate and make learning fun. What will you do to keep our hallways quiet so teachers can work and students can learn? Walk quietly, don't talk. Great answer.
Great answer.
Being quiet in the hallway and not squeaking your feet is not about taking away from your fun.
It is about respecting others and understanding that your actions can have a big impact on someone else.
Lastly, I've just got to ask, how is the squeaking feet fun? It is such an annoying sound that it gives me a headache. Please no more squeaking of your feet whether your shoes are wet or not. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Team Pride. So one thing I think we've done very well this year in the hallways is keeping our voices to a whisper. But recently, been noticing, particularly with the snow and feet being a little more wet, that we're hearing a lot more squeaking, and sometimes it's kind of unintentional, but sometimes it's intentional. So just know that that squeaky noise, when I hear squeaky noise from a boot, it's almost like fingernails on a chalkboard. You know what I mean? It's just like, it makes that noise that gives you a little bit of that headache, and it's kind of like distracts you. So just really being aware of that is really important, because your teachers are working really hard. Whether the students are in the room or not, they are planning to make sure that we have special events, such as the Invention Convention, or the 5th grade play, or Hunter's Day, things like that. All right, next up I'm going to call students from Mr. Barrow's class. We're going to talk about a project they did recently. All right, let's keep being good audience. We're off to a good start.
Last month, fourth graders collected money to send care packages to American troops serving on ships on the Mediterranean Sea. Thank you to all of you who donated.
We raised $471.75 in 1 week. Over 25 boxes were sent serving over 80 soldiers. Thank you for showing our service members that we care and appreciate.
Toss it over to the 3rd grade, the D for determination.
Hi, my name is Rogan, and I am determined to learn more about science.
Hi, my name is Archie. I am determined to learn more about the Puritans.
Hi, my name is Heather, and Lieutenant is determined to get everyone to the benchmark by the end of the year. Hi, my name is Dylan. I am determined to do well on my 15 fact check.
Toss it over to 4th grade, the E for enthusiasm.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie. Fourth graders are enthusiastic about memorizing the 50 states and capitals and learning the 50 nifty state song and learning the state flag. My name is Cordelia. We are also enthusiastic about having Dr. Shuffles teach us about plate tectonics. Hi, my name is Jack from 13. I'm enthusiastic about finishing my state project and performing the state song at school.
Hi, my name is Zach from room 13. I am enthusiastic about starting our animal research project.
Excellent, thank you everyone. And I just gotta do a quick shout out to rooms 9 and 14. Your listening was just unbelievable, great job. All right, next up, we are gonna do our birthdays. So, if I can have Bella and Ryan and Melina come on up to announce them. When they call your name, please stand.
Happy birthday to Eli Oliver from room 5, Dylan Holt from room 10, Grace Hartley from room 22, McKenna O'Mara from room 5, Elise Taw from room 9, Julia Taw from room 10, Jack Artini from room 6, Max Butler from room 1, Mackenzie Young from room 9. Jeffrey Mao from room 16, Andrew Resky from room 16, Olivia Iglesias from room 6, Kenzie Moran from room 14, Joshua Alford from room 10, Herman Zhu from room 10, Melina Anthony from room 14, Luke McNamara from room 9, Ryan Friedman from room 13, Camera D'Amico from room 5, Archie Baker from room 9, Celine Nardini from room 22, Ken Smith from room 15, Lucas Tusky from room 15, Harper DiStefano from room 1, and Ava Guzman from room 1.
All right, thank you. And anyone else who's had a birthday since February 7th, which is our last school meeting, please stand as well and you can join us for our birthday song. Everyone can stand. We'll close with our local school song. Fifth graders, come on up. Excellent job. Now everyone can have a seat. Well done. I like how Jonah Theobald is ready to listen. There's Zach Artunian. Cameron Tamiko. Okay. So before we go, I just want to say two quick things. One, we've had such amazing musical concerts this week at the Whalen Fieldhouse. We had our field day a couple weeks ago. On Monday night, we had our 4th and 5th grade chorus students, led by Miss Davis, who just did an outstanding job. How about a round of applause for our chorus students? Have a seat. On Tuesday night, we had our 4th and 5th grade band students part in Band Fest. Band students, can you stand up? All right. And last night, we had our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade string students as part of the String Jamboree. Please. want to, I know I said this about chorus. So Miss Davis had 2 concerts this week. Not only did she lead all the chorus students on Monday night, but she led all the 3rd grade string students last night. That takes a tremendous amount of work. And so I just want to do a round of applause for Miss Davis. And the concerts were phenomenal, and I'm just really proud of all you guys. It was 3 great nights of concerts. Absolutely amazing. All right, I want to thank everyone for coming. Miss Olivia's class, you were the first class that was here and seated, so 5 extra minutes of recess. And we'll dismiss my class for rooms 1.